We're going to start in the dining room, which is everybody's favorite place to decorate. So we're going to use the table, of course, as the focal point, and the light fixture above it, as well as the sideboard. And out of the shot, for now, we have a pretty corner cupboard that I like to add a little bit to as well. Like I said, for fall, we don't want to overdo it, but we want to make sure that everybody knows that it's been dressed for fall. So we're going to start with some pretty accents on the chandelier. First thing we have to do is take the light shades off of the chandelier so that we can decorate it. You know, now that we've got the shades off of the light fixture, we want to add just a little bit of fall touch. You know, one thing that really works well on candelabra chandeliers like this are the permanent candle rings. Now these are really interesting ones in that they're a brown fern design, which is something that you can add to or just leave them plain. And for today we're going to leave them plain. But the reason that that's kind of important is that, you know, to do enough of these to cover a light fixture like this that obviously has quite a few candles on it, it's going to mean quite an investment in permanent materials for you. And you want to make sure that you buy something that's going to be long lasting and something that you can change its look of easily. And by selecting something like this that's obviously a fall design in that it's browns and golds, it really is something that says that it's fall, but it's also something that would be really easy to accessorize with a little bit of ribbon, or you could put some berries with it, or some miniature pumpkins or gourds, something that way to change the look of it from season to season if you like. So it is definitely would be an investment, but it'd be a wise investment because it's something that you can easily adapt to from year to year to give it a fresh new look. So what these do is they just slip over the candles like that. And what I'm going to do is just do the bottom row, because the top row really would interfere with the bottom row if we get too much greenery going on it. And like I said, we don't really want it to just, scream fall in here, but we want people to know that it's decorated. So what we're doing is I'm taking this and just kind of shaping a little bit the candle ring so that it slopes down towards the table. And these are bendable and pliable, and they're also washable candle rings, so that really makes a difference as well. So be sure that you consider all those factors when you go to buy permanent materials. And see, that's something that now you definitely are going to notice that this has been decorated, but it's not something that just screams at you. And so it's a nice, soft, understated touch that really lets you know that fall is in the air. Now we're going to replace the shades. Now that we have the light fixture decorated, and like I said, it's subtle, but it's beautiful, we want to add something on the table that will accent it. You know, the nice thing about using such subtle colors on the light fixture at this time of year allows you to get brighter and bolder on the table itself. And that's really where your center of attention needs to be. And for the table arrangement for autumn, I've thought about this beautiful leather tray. It's one we've had for a long time. And usually it's just kind of standing against a wall or at the back of a cabinet, but it makes such a pretty accent to the table. Now to go on the tray, we need something that's really good looking for a focal area in the center of the tray. I've got, it's something that you could use either if you have a special jardiniere or a beautiful bowl. There are lots of ways that you could do it, especially, having such a nice place to start. Now if you don't have, obviously not everybody has a leather tray, but you may have something in a brass or a gallery tray, a silver tray, anything like that would be lovely on the table. Just something to give it a nice foundation for your arrangement. Now if you don't have a tray of any kind, that's fine too. Think about a beautiful placemat or a pretty napkin that you can unfold that's in beautiful fall colors. Anything to give the center of your table a arrangement, a foundation. Now, and if you don't have something that you think is just the right color, go to one of the decorative stores that sells those kinds of things like Pier 1 or a shop like that. And you'll find all kinds of things that will inspire you, and just, just a simple placemat will only cost $2 or $3 or, 10 at the most. And it will give you such a beautiful area to work with, and it will also define your centerpiece. I'm going to show you some different ideas that we could do on this tray, and then we'll decide on one. One thing that would be fun is just like an assortment of bowls. We've collected the Amari pieces over the years, and this would be really pretty. We could do something like that, and then add a smaller one or two with that. I've got one over here. And so we could start with an arrangement like this, or underneath us we could even add another plate and give it more importance. But this kind of a look would be beautiful for fall. But let's look at some other options as well. This is one of my favorite jardiniers, or plant containers, that I bought at an antique store years ago, and I think it is so good looking, and it would be really pretty on the table as a centerpiece bowl as well. And you can see how sitting on this tray, it really gives it importance, and it makes it a lot warmer with the leather feet under it. If it were just resting on the glass with being bronze and brass and silver, it would be awfully harsh. But on the leather, it really warms it up and gives it a nice fall cozy feeling. That's another option that we could use. And wine coolers are always a favorite dining room accessory, and this one is one that I've had for a long time. It's an old Sheffield piece, and it has, the warmth of the copper underlay coming through the silver, so that you see both the copper and the silver at the same time. So it really gives it that warmth of a copper color with the formality of a silver wine cooler. So it would be a beautiful thing here as well. And see, when we start with that, we can always add around the base and make it beautiful. For your home decor, I'm all for making it easy to maintain and easy to put together. And to do that, we've got, again, I've picked out a really pretty pre-made wreath that has lovely fall colors and lots of nice tendrils and pretty accessory flowers like the little dried yarrow that's within it. And I'm going to just spread it out a bit to give it a little more impact on the tray, because that's a pretty darn big tray. This is not a table range that you would probably eat around, but it's something that's awfully pretty to look at when you pass through the room. So what we're going to do to elevate this wine cooler is I found just a little stand for pedestal, and we'll use that in the center to start with, and then we're just going to set this wreath on top of it. And see, that almost fills the tray, but we want to pick up this fern element that we've got going upstairs here in the chandelier. So what I'm going to do is take some of these permanent ferns that match and just kind of tuck them underneath. That monochromatic color schemes are the most pleasing to people. People react most positively to one selected color that's done in a breadth of tones. And so this is like we're taking the brown tones and expanding them into the reds and into the oranges and into the golds, so that it really stays on the same side of the color wheel, but it gives you that beautiful warmth of color that is so pretty with fall materials. What you don't want to do is veer off onto the blue side of the color wheel. You want to stay with the warm colors. You don't have to have a lot of things But I think it's really important that when you do buy something that you really love and something that's going to have a lasting value to it. These are obviously nice quality and pretty colored artificial fruits. So, you know, if they weren't such good quality, you wouldn't want to get them out every year. So buy fewer things and buy better things. I think that you'll be happier in the long run. I'm going to use a couple of these pretty permanent hydrangeas that are in a wonderful greens and browns, like so. And this is just a beautiful croton plant that I think these are so handsome. And they're easy to grow, they don't take a lot of care, and they give you a nice fresh touch in the dining room. And this is a beautiful, beautiful one, and it adds so much, and it's not expensive.